We've got breaking news right now into our newsroom. What we understand, there was a situation on Detroit's east side where a firefighter was trapped after a house fire. I want to take you live above the scene. Now you're looking at 82 West Hollywood in Detroit. Is right off of Woodward. It's John R. and 7 Mile area. This is what we know so far. There was a call for a house fire. Firefighters responded, and then this was a vacant home. That home collapsed. Now, just moments ago, we did learn that one firefighter was rescued, but at one point, 2 firefighters were stuck inside that home after the home collapsed. Early reports that they were in the basement. We're trying to confirm that. Now, we have just learned that one of those firefighters has been rescued, but this is the deal. We've got a firefighter in that house stuck. This is obviously terrifying for the fire department because they are going inch by inch, step by step to try to remove all of that wood piece by piece to slowly get to where that firefighter is stuck. It's a tedious task and obviously heartbreaking to watch. There's a bigger situation too here. What is going on West Hollywood Street? I can tell you, I was talking to sources today. This is the 3rd fire on that street today. So clearly there's a situation. There was a fire that happened on that street at 4:30 this morning. There was another fire, and talking to sources, there was a fire on Monday morning on West Hollywood Street. This hit our radar. We're concerned of, is there some type of fire bug or some situation in that area where these homes are catching fire? And right now, the result of it, we've got a firefighter stuck. So this is breaking, Sean. Tell us what you know from the ground level.
We've been able to get down here right in front of the home. I've been here for about 30 minutes. We got pushed back a little bit. That's okay, but we still can see exactly what's going on, and fire officials have been briefing me in front of the home for the last 20 minutes. I watched 5 firefighters walk out of that home that collapsed. They are being treated over here by EMS, water, oxygen. They seem to be okay. Some of those guys did not want to be treated, but they were. EMS made them have a seat and catch their breaths, soot all over their faces. Here's what's happening right now. You see all the firefighters right there, and you see the ladder truck right there. This is where the home collapsed on these firefighters. I'm told 5 got out, 1 remains inside with debris on top of him. They've been talking to him for about 20 to 30 minutes, maybe up to 40 minutes, so they know where he is, they can see him, but they've got to get in there carefully and get that debris off of him. And then what's happening is they've got stretchers ready for any firefighter that gets hurt. EMS crews up and down the street here on Hollywood all the way to John R. However, they've called in a special crew with guys who have a stretcher that has to be carried up in there to get him on that stretcher and then carry him down. But it's all very happening right in front of us, and very, very delicate situation because you can see the condition of what's left of that home. It's crumbling and falling on top of these firefighters. They were here, as you said, Karen, putting out a vacant house fire, and one of the fire chiefs came by and said, this is what we do. We go inside, we put it out. This time, hazards of the job, they said, it collapsed on top of them. I counted at least 4 to 5 guys who walked out in the past 10 to 12 minutes, soot all over their faces. They looked exhausted. They were the guys who trapped. They were able to get out and walk out. But one of the firefighters, again, has debris over him, laying on top of him. They've been in contact with him. They can talk to him. They just have to carefully get to him. So fire officials are here, firefighters are here, EMS is here. They're bringing in a new bag of equipment right now to get up to the area where he is. I don't know if you can see from Sky 4 the exact area of the home they're working on, but this is the scene right here from we are at the street level, and we're waiting for these rescuers to get in there and get this firefighter out of there and see how badly he is injured. If you come over here, Alex, a little bit, we can see the guys who are being worked on right over here. They have been out for a good, I'd say, depending on which firefighter we're looking at, the first guy came out about 20 minutes ago, then another firefighter 10 minutes ago. Now 4 guys are being worked on right over there. One firefighter who stayed with the firefighter who was trapped, he had to get out of there. He was exhausted. He was covered in soot. He was having trouble catching his breath. He had to get out of there to get a break, and another firefighter went up there to talk to the firefighter who's trapped. So again, you can see the guys with red helmets on, yellow helmets on. They're waiting to see, working to see how they can delicately get over him and get that debris off of him and then get him down out of there. Karen, that's what we can see right here. We're going to monitor every movement here, and I can get a little closer. I can find out how close they're getting to the firefighter to get him out of there. I'm
right.
listening to you, Karen, on my phone. You can talk to me if you'd like.
Okay, thanks, Sean. I'm going to update with a little bit of information that I've been able to learn from some of my sources. What I'm hearing is, and it's the same thing as you have heard, it's a slow, methodical, very cautious process. As we said, it's controlled chaos. They believe he is close to being out. He is moving all of his limbs. That is good news. So that is definitely good news. As you had mentioned, Sean, there is communication with that firefighter who is stuck inside of that home. So if you are joining us, this is a situation. We're on the city's east side right now. It's about John R. and 7 Mile area. If you take a look at the map right there, not too, kind of in between the Woodward and 75 corridor there. A pretty popular area spot in terms of where people were traveling. There was a fire reported, and firefighters quickly responded. And at the time of them responding, that is when that building collapsed. There were more firefighters that were caught. As Sean had said, many have been brought out, and many are being treated. Then it escalated, and there was 2 that they just simply couldn't get out. Right now you are looking live at a rescue of one of Detroit's finest, one of our firefighters down there. From what we understand, there's communication. He's able to move his limbs. Now I just got a text that something just collapsed a little bit more.
Yeah, so we're right in front of the house. Let's push in here. Alex is behind our camera. He can see what you're seeing from Sky 4, obviously, and what you're hearing from your sources. And what we're talking to, Chief Harris is here, Bob Distelrath is here. These are, administration with fire, and all the firefighters and EMS standing here waiting. And as what you can't see from our vantage point is what's happening up there. You see one of the firefighters up on the ladder here, ladder 18. He's watching. My vision is obscured by a big tree here, but you can just see everyone's staying there and watching and waiting to see what is going to happen next. I'm looking for the yellow stretcher that was brought in by a team of firefighters and prepared to go up there. Once I see if that's made its way up into the area where the firefighter is trapped, we know we're getting close to a situation where they might be able to get him on that stretcher and somehow carry him down. That would be a very difficult task, but something that has to happen here to get this firefighter out from under all that burned up debris. We've been in these houses before after the fact, and there's just so much debris, nails, glass, anything you can think of. So this burned material is on top of him. They've got to get it off of him. And Karen, as you look at the house, look, it could just collapse, it could fall over at any second. Well, here's what's going on. Fire administration is here. I was able to walk down the street, get an update from them. So everything we're telling you from here on the ground, right in front of the house, is confirmed information. You see guys going in with big shovels. They just got back on here on number 35, got a bunch of shovels off of there. And what being told by administration is firefighters are with the firefighter who's trapped. Shovels are going up to get all of that debris off of him. He's talking, he's moving his arms and legs, as you said. We're going to get that off of him, and the gentleman with administration says we are going to get him on a gurney and carry him out of there, and they're getting very, very close to doing so. Part of that was bringing the big shovels up there. That gives you a good indication of small particles, big chunks of debris on this firefighter. They got to clear it off, try not to injure him while doing it, get all that off of there, somehow get him on that gurney. We don't know if he can do it himself or if he's going to have to be put on that stretcher and then carried down, and we should be able to see him coming down here. The fire administration said we're very close. We're right there with him. We're very close. He is still in there, but we are going to get him out any moment. That is the latest right here.
So we see them putting out some of those hot spots. And just because you don't see flames and you don't see smoke, it doesn't mean that there isn't a fire and there isn't a danger. There's smoldering embers there. There are firefighters that have dealt with some smoke inhalation. They're exhausted. It's hot. They need water themselves. So they're rotating crews one by one. Now, we've been on the air for some 15, 20 minutes, and, they've been doing this for quite some time. Sean's got the chief. Sean, tell us more.
Chief James Harris, I know there's a lot going on, so thank you for your time. Just update everyone. What are we looking at here? And there's one firefighter left trapped, right?
Correct.
He's talking to you guys.
Correct.
What's going on?
We have one firefighter trapped. He's conscious. He's talking to us. We're in the process of getting him out, getting him transported to the hospital.
Where is he exactly in the structure?
He's to the right.
Upstairs, though, the upper level?
Lower. First story.
So what happened?
We're extinguishing a fire, house fire, a vacant dwelling. Unfortunately, the house collapsed, and there's debris on top of the firefighter.
Can you describe the debris? I mean, we can see here, there's bricks, glass, boards, nails, just
Correct.
about anything
Plaster,
you think of.
wood, yes.
Do we know if he's injured right now?
Slightly, but he's talking.
And he's moving
talking,
all of
and
his
he's
arm?
moving, he's conscious. So
I saw you guys go up with shovels, which indicates you got to start digging stuff off of him.
correct. It's our worst nightmare.
Tell me about that. I mean, is there a foot of debris on him? 2 feet of debris?
Approximately 1.5 feet.
1.5 feet of debris on this firefighter. He's laying down.
Correct.
You guys got to get that off of him.
Yes.
What happens after that?
What happens after that? We're going to stay prayerful and hopeful that his injuries are minor.
But how do you get him on a stretcher? I see a handheld stretcher going up that way. You guys have to. How can they step on to the surface he's on and not know it's going to collapse into the bottom
We train
floor?
extensively in the academy during our training. We train for these type of structures. We train for these type of collapses all the time.
We saw how many firefighters were trapped initially?
There were 2 trapped. We transported 5.
Transported 5. What happened to those guys? The 5. We saw them come out. Some didn't want to be treated.
Correct.
They got to, but the EMS. They said, "Look,
Correct.
You're getting water. You're getting oxygen. We're taking you." How are those guys doing?
Right now, they're good. We'll head over to the hospital and get an update shortly. It's hot out here, so heat exhaustion, smoke inhalation, they all play a factor.
We saw one firefighter, I think it was with the firefighter who was trapped, staying with him. I think he had to come out for a little bit because he was so hot and he needed some water.
But we're family. If one goes down, we all go to work.
What's going on here? Was there low pressure and a water main break? Are you getting the water you need here on
Yes,
this
we
street?
are.
You are.
Yes.
Was there a problem with that earlier?
No.
So if you can turn around, so it looks like everyone's ready to go.
Yes.
Do you know exactly what part we're looking at right now? What I know you're here with us, but are they to him? They're getting ready to get him out of there?
Right now, we're in rescue mode. We're in total rescue mode.
You had fires on this street earlier today?
At this time, we're under investigation.
Under investigation, all that. So we've got that right there. Okay, so bottom line, do you know who the firefighter is who's trapped?
At this time, not now. We don't have any names at this moment.
Got it. Okay, but he is talking to you guys.
Correct.
Do you know what he's saying to you guys?
He's just conscious. We're talking to him, making sure he's conscious, making sure he's alert.
And he knows of course, you guys have been surrounding him the whole time. This has been going on rescue for about an hour, I think, right?
About 45 minutes.
Okay, you'll let us know. We'll watch to see if he comes out. Hopefully he's going to be okay, but he's going to have some injuries, I'd imagine.
We're hoping minor.
And then you can't have any injuries getting him out of there, carrying him out.
We're hoping not. We're optimistic. We're going to think positive.
Yep.
And we're
Anything
do
else we
whatever
need to
it
know,
takes.
Chief Harris? Anything else?
We just want the citizens of Detroit to pray for our firefighters. Our men and women laid on the line every day and put our lives on the line for them. We just ask for their prayers at this moment.
We'll grab you when it's all done, Chief Harris.
Thanks
Thanks for
for
your time. I know you're busy.
You're
Okay, we'll watch for a positive outcome here.
We have made a rescue. I'm sorry, I'm just getting a little emotional over this. Okay, we've got the individual. The firefighter has been rescued. He is on the stretcher right now, receiving the help that he needs so he can be quickly brought to the hospital. That structure fell on that firefighter nearly an hour and a half ago. They methodically and cautiously and carefully removed the debris. I'm just going to take a look right now so we can all take a look at this rescue. A huge thank you to those crews that have put their lives on the line to rescue this firefighter, and this firefighter who put his life on the line when he got that call at 12:41 that there was a house fire on West Hollywood.
And I'm going to try to peek him out and run another. Here he goes, right there. Oh boy, man, that is a tough sight to see. He needs to be rushed to the hospital to be checked out. He's on oxygen right now. There he goes. They're going to get him in that ambulance. They're taking him right towards John R. East here, and they have him out.
They definitely
wow.
do, Sean. I'm understanding he is conscious, he is alert, he has received the oxygen, and now they're going to be carefully getting him into the ambulance and getting him to the very closest hospital to receive the care that he needs. A huge thank you to the firefighters who have made that rescue. But you are looking live right now as that firefighter has been rescued from a collapsed building after responding to a house fire at a vacant building and now being put into a Detroit EMS. The lights and sirens will be blaring on the east side in a matter of moments as that ambulance rushes to the hospital to make sure that this individual is safe and secure. They're moving just to another ambulance. We're not exactly sure why, but that's all right. We're going to make sure, we want to make sure he's in that ambulance and the ambulance is headed to the hospital before our coverage stops, because it is so important just to make sure that the individual is on his way to the hospital. If you're in the area, it's 82 West Hollywood. We're looking near the John R. and 7 Mile area where all of these fires have occurred today. We've got 40 West Hollywood, 39 West Hollywood, 82 West Hollywood, 3 fires in one morning, plus a fire earlier this week. What is going on in the city on this part of the street? We definitely need to find out. Firefighters' lives have obviously been put at risk today, putting their lives on the line to respond to a vacant fire. Firefighter in the ambulance. A huge thank you to all of the firefighters who made that rescue. It has been a long, long and exhausting afternoon. We will follow this as you join us for later editions of Local 4 News.